Hey guys, it's Scott here again with another episode and session for you in this video or audio, wherever you're listening to this. I super appreciate you listening to these videos, by the way. It means a lot to me. And my intention of shooting these and doing these is to help you make more money and have more time in your life so you can go and live the life that you want and have total freedom. So what I'm sharing with you today is coming from a place of credibility. I've built some cool stuff. We have a few brands doing 7 figures a year. So collectively we do 8 figures a year. And yeah, it's going pretty well. So what I want to talk about today is the dangerous trap of the shiny object syndrome, which is a complete distraction from your success, right? And the first concept I want to cover is a lot of people think that what they currently have is not good enough and that the grass is going to be greener on the other side. I repeat, they think that what they have right now is not good enough and that the grass is going to be greener on the other side. And it's just not true. The grass is greener where you water it, okay? Not the other side, because you're just going to have to water that side as well. But then if you're tending to that garden across there, that garden is going to have its own issues and challenges and problems that you don't know of yet. At least the garden you're in now, at least you kind of are already aware of the challenges and problems that you're going to face. It's like the metaphor, if you pick up one end of the stick, you have to pick up the other end of the stick, right? You can't just pick up one end of the stick. So a lot of people are so optimistic on their outlook in life, me included, and we don't look at the other side of the equation here, because there's polarity in the universe, which is positive and negative poles, right? And we got to look at both the positives and negative poles and say, right, what are the benefits, what are the drawbacks, what are the pros, what are the cons? And it's just not true that the grass is going to be greener on the other side. What's true is choosing what you want to be in the world, who you want to be in the world, and building that, and knowing that you're going to come across obstacles and challenges and stuff along the way, and not oscillating over into something else. And usually, when you're oscillating into someone else, it's like the question you got to ask yourself, which is the next phase of this content, is like, is this a true creation, or where am I coming from? Because a lot of the times, the evidence is in your behavior that you're coming from a place of ego, like you're ashamed of what you currently have, or there's part of you that's not owning what you currently have and not showing up and claiming who you really are and who you want to be in the world because you're worried about what other people in the world will think of you. Or so you're basically coming from a place of ego because your ego is not feeling grounded and safe in the world, so it wants to try and find validation. Or, like, is the other thing just a true creation? Because if it is, then it is a true creation, and then we got to figure out how we can make that happen for you, because it's bloody true for you and it's what your heart wants, right? So sometimes these ideas and stuff that we have are not shiny object syndrome. They're actually a true creation, and it's very important that you build the skill of discerning between those two things, if that makes sense. So really, the point number 2 here is that if you are feeling the pull in your consciousness to do stuff, then you just really want to check in on yourself. You want to spend some time thinking about it. I've been reading this book called The Road to Less Stupid, and by Keith Cunningham, and he talks about having think time and how think time slows you down a little bit. Because isn't it true that we've all made these stupid decisions that end up losing us money or losing us something we care about in our life? And if we could turn back time, we would change that. He calls it dumb tax in this book. And what this is doing is think time is allowing you to slow down to actually think about what you want to do. And if it's coming from a place of truth, or if it's actually just your ego, you know? And a lot of times it is your ego, and you're just chasing the next shiny object because you want to look good to the world or whatever. Because the last point I want to talk about today is chasing the next shiny thing is dangerous, because in the pursuit of chasing the next shiny thing, because it's just shiny, you are going to end up off path. You are going to end up losing yourself a little bit. You are going to end up getting so far, and you might have some wins because you have some skills, you might make some stuff happen, but there's going to be a big part of you that's pulling on you internally because you know that you're not coming from the right place. And the way I look at this is we've got the ego, and the ego's job is just to literally keep us safe in the world. Okay, it's the vehicle that you live in called your body. And then we have your heart, or some people might call it your soul or your purpose or something like that. But I prefer the heart, right? Your heart. So you've got your heart's desires, which are really true for you. Then you've got your ego, and one's just trying to stay safe in the world, and one's wanting to create what you love. Okay? And it's very important that you build a relationship with yourself that you can discern where you're coming from. Are you coming from ego, or are you coming from heart? Now, when I say create what you love, I'm not in some fantasy live your purpose, like follow your passion type thing. I'm not talking about that, because honestly, on the pursuit of creating what you love, sometimes you do stuff that you don't love. And on the pursuit of creating what you love for your highest good, sometimes you actually don't want to do those things. They don't actually always feel good. So I'm not talking about doing what you love and feeling good. I'm talking about following your highest path, your highest good. That's your heart. What your heart would love. It doesn't mean in the human world it's not always bloody it doesn't always feel good, right? So chasing the next shiny thing is bloody dangerous, because it's more than likely coming from a place of ego if you're doing it, and it's going to be pulling you away from your heart. And there's only so far you can go before something crumbles and breaks. And I've seen this many, many, many times happen in people's lives. And it's not a fun thing to deal with. I've been victim to shiny object syndrome, and I feel like doing a lot of stuff all the time. I just don't follow through on it because I spend time thinking about it, and I've got responsibilities in my business that really ground me in not doing shit like that. Otherwise, other people's lives would be at stake, because we've got staff to pay, all that stuff. So you kind of have to mature a bit when you start really, really growing your business, right? So, guys, have a lot of think about this today. I've shared some concepts with you. The shiny object syndrome is a distraction. Remember, the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. So choose where you want to water it. And my recommendation is to water it where your heart is. Okay, and that doesn't mean it's always going to feel good or be good or anything like that. You're going to have to build some skills that probably don't feel the best, because you're going to have to start and you're going to suck at them. And then you're going to have to get better and better and better. And then eventually, like over time, you're just going to be in this place of like absolutely doing what you love because you're good at it, you're getting results, and you followed your bloody heart. So you're going to be in complete alignment. And that's where you should be watering the grass, not over in someone else's heart world, in your world. You get it? So build a connection with yourself. Is this true for me, or where am I coming from? Am I coming from a place of ego? Am I coming from a place of needing validation? And remember, chasing the next shiny object just because it's shiny is dangerous. With that said, my friend, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video or audio, wherever you listen to this or watching this. Bye for now.